You watched the World Series, Game 5, I hope. You know, we've got Game 6 tonight. We spoke about it. I've been talking about something for a long time, and it didn't get a lot of love until too late, and now it is. So let's talk about RoboUmps. About a year or two ago, actually, let's go back to the beginning of baseball. It was 2000 was my first year in baseball. And I remember thinking to myself, how do I learn the tendencies of umps? Because that was really, analytics were not big back then. It wasn't that we could go online and get the information we can about every umpire the way we do now. Right now, the way it is, that when you've got someone behind the plate, Gary Cedarstrom, Lance Barksdale, Joe West, anybody, you can find out in a minute and give to your pitchers and players what that umpire's tendencies are. Does he call a low strike? Does he call a high strike? Does he give you the inside part of the plate or the outside part of the plate? Is he consistent? We can tell you everything about him, including his proclivities for the type of movies he watches. Back in the day, it didn't happen. We wanted that information because we felt like we were not getting consistent calls from umpires. What's changed since I started in baseball in the year 2000 and finished in the year 2017? Nothing. We just have more information about the mediocrity. And this is not about being against human umpires. This is not about trying to take the human element out of the game. This is about consistency and, for once, doing what's right. And what's right is making the game a fair game. Did you see some of the calls in Game 5? Now, all of a sudden, people are calling for robot umps? I did an entire essay this season about all the things in baseball that I'd like to change in order to try to improve our demographics, code for get younger, get the pace of action increased, code for make the games end before 4 hours. And I was open to anything, including batting out of order, including eliminating the shift, including making a pitcher face at least 3 batters, getting rid of mound visits, getting rid of throwing over to first. Who likes throwing over to first? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. Did I just get a hand raise from Jack there in the audience? You like throwing to first, Jack? He's nodding because he's not microphoned. The reason he must like throwing over to first is only for one reason, because he thinks that it has some quash impact on the running game. Well, what it does have is a direct correlation to the clicking game, as in people clicking away from the game in record numbers. And that's what we have to stop. Why would robot umps accomplish my goal? Because it would add consistency and it would save time. No more arguing. No more bitching and moaning from managers or players, because a call is a call and it's the same call to every player, every inning of every game. You're not a homer, meaning some umpires tend to maybe, they'll never tell you this, but trust me, umpires do have it in for certain players and certain teams and certain owners, certain ballparks. That's real because that's human. This eliminates that. Any of you watch tennis? Well, I do. And the replays in tennis, when there's a line judge who makes a mistake, it's no longer John McEnroe saying, "Are you serious?" No. You just go to the Jumbotron. The fans love it. The crowd loves it. The TV audience loves it because the technology exists where the ball either hits the line or it doesn't. It's very binary. There's no cloud of miscommunication. It's either on the line or it's out or it's in. Of course, any question in tennis, I've never seen a ball fully in, and that's what was challenged. No, I see it touch the line by just a hair or just a little bit of the yellow part of the ball. In baseball, we can do the same thing. We can have a robo-ump call balls and strikes, and it's immediate. Everyone knows the count. Everyone knows whether it's a strike or ball. There's none of this when players think that it's ball 4. They take off their shin guard, they drop their bat, and the umpire calls it strike 2 on a 3-1 pitch, and then the player has to turn around. Then he argues, then he puts his shin strap back on, then his batting gloves. Then he steps out of the box. It's 45 seconds, and then there's another pitch thrown. Let's get rid of that. I could save 2 to 3 minutes a game on this alone, and I wouldn't have to read one more tweet about people calling for robo-umps. The reason we can do it is that the technology is there, The reason we aren't doing it is because we're scared of the umpires union and we're scared about traditionalists saying, don't screw around with baseball. Well, I've got a secret for all people in Major League Baseball, in the commissioner's office, and everyone running a team and owning a team. If you don't screw with baseball, baseball will have a funny way of screwing with you. And all of the golden geese whose eggs we are sitting on to have our teams worth in the billions and making money every year, and all that we take for granted will disappear in a cloud of arguments between whether it was a ball or a strike. RoboUmps will take care of all of that.